Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. And I think Tracker, me, and Kat, we're going to do a triumvirate show tonight. Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Woohoo!
maybe.
I'm totally up for it. It's all it cats the always the if you can do
Yeah.
it or not. So, but,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we could have us twice in one day. How amazing is that?
it gets funnier later though.
That's true. It
But
gets more,
the,
we're more awake by then. Yes.
yeah, well, we're when the time pressure's off. I'm awake now, but the
Yeah.
when the time pressure's off, we can just kind of like mess around and have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
With that said, we don't have time to mess around and have fun now. So, Mattsby, take us in with the
Yeah.
indices.
So we're looking for possible continuation. There was kind of like a gravestone doji on the daily chart, but day over day it's still in the same range and it's still holding the daily conversion line. So we can just watch this trend, right? Stay above the 624, 625 zone. Then that has a chance to continue the journey higher. So we'll just follow the momentum by using the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart and using the conversion line, right? Stay above it. It can stay more bullish, start closing candles below it, then maybe a back test can occur. QQQ, same situation. Conversion lines at 558. Then we have the 578 above. So the trend is still your friend, and we're going higher and higher. And yesterday still was an all-time high daily candle close for the QQQ. So that's the trend. Stay above 558. It can continue that journey higher. IWM also is still inside of these fibs here, the 786, the 226.74, and the 702 at 219.79. So this is just your range for the week. And actually, for the past couple of weeks, it's just been in that range. So not much is changing here. And as long as 219 still holds, I think it's going to break that 786 above. And Bitcoin here, we are getting some kind of volatility, but you know what? It's still just building a base on top of my arc here. So I'm watching that zone 115. Basically, even down to 110 would be like a nice little liquidity flush if that were to happen. It's not a guarantee, but this is looking like a great breakout and back test, building a base at a higher level until it's ready to go to the 128 above tracker.
All right, thanks, Matt. Let's see. I'm going to start off. We'll just look at the VIX. That's a good place to start because that's going to tell me when it's time to get out of the market, go back to cash. But we're not there yet. In fact, we're just still kind of stuck halfway between greed and the take profits line that I've got down here. So we're well within greed. We're back under the moving average 75, which is great. I mean, we're going to be staying close to 75. Only extreme moves are going to take us up to 300 unless we stay down here like a long time. Then the moving average 300 starts to get closer to the 75. But in general, I think I've been hearing other people saying like Market Maestro and Bach saying, they think the August will be even more exciting than July has been. So let's look out for that. And that's what I've got here. Like this intersection right here is July 31st. And then this intersection down here is August 19th. So maybe we'll hit extreme greed, take profits, extreme greed in August. All right. And then my SPY, it's a fun curiosity to look at. I'm going to get a little closer. So my SPY chart says, we're asymptotically approaching about 666 for the SPY. I love that. Mark of the beast, 666. And I had this sort of like this 3-4. I didn't really know where the 3-4 is going to be. We're still kind of going up towards it. This was a kind of a cool wick right here. I know you can't really see it with all this stuff here. But that wick right there, that was a pretty cool wick to, put some fear in. So I wonder if it's going to backtest the 141 or not before it goes to the 666. The fun thing is that there's like all this move, all the market move that we're doing. If it went to the 671, that's like 6 or 7%. Like if the market moved in 7% one day, of course that'd be terrible. But if it did that all in one day, that would be the whole thing. That'd be the top, and then we go down from there. Is what I'm thinking for just the wave 4 before we get another wave 5 melt up next year. Let's see, VIX buying Bitcoin. I'm just watching the price action. This is the same price action that Matt just showed you. You can kind of identify here on the 1 hour chart that it kind of got up to this range, kind of made a little. You can kind of imagine a Gann arc right here. Goes up to the next level. We're kind of stuck in another little Gann arc right here. I wasn't sure if this triangle was going to be the bullish one like this or the bearish one like that. I'm just kind of looking at both possibilities. I kind of am leaning more towards the bullish one again right now. So instead of going down to a new lower low, this would go basically just in a straight line to kind of like that. I mean, not of course, price doesn't move in a straight line, but I'm looking for 134. Next is the next significant price to reach for that Bitcoin wants to go to. XRP, same thing. I identified the 618 was going to be important resistance. It was, but then kind of blew through it, and now it's just been oscillating around it. And I think I'm starting to think it's not going to do this down here. It's not going to revisit $3, and I think it's just going to go. I mean, it's like a really tight 1-2, or my 1-2 is just basically back there. Anyway, XRP still looking for 391 will be the next significant price that really wants to get to. Then after that, if there isn't a big pullback, the 1382 at $5.78, and then 879, 880 for the 2382. These are the prices that I'm really looking forward to get to. I think if it gets to 880 or anywhere in the eights, it's going to spend a significant amount of time cooling off the RSI after that. It might see some liquidity dips, but then run back to that price. I don't know. It'll feel a lot like price on XRP has felt like from what was it? Almost, it was like almost $3 to the 250s. It'll feel like that up there. All right. And the whole reason why I talked about that was just because I wanted to talk about, well, no, let's do some requests. You don't know Tesla, and then back to you, Matt. Here's Tesla. I posted this just about less than an hour ago. I'm looking at the price, just like I told you yesterday. If price is high going into earnings, expect it to dump. If price is low going into earnings, expect it to pump. So if price gets near the 360s tomorrow, by tomorrow's day end, watch it drop to 329 and then start to recover in the days following after that. I'm expecting a really nice presentation from Elon for Tesla, the earnings call. But if it goes low, like down here to the three teens into the earnings, then it's just going to pump into the earnings and then keep going from there. I'm looking for a test of 420. I guess maybe that's going to happen in August. I got this happens to see like August 18th. My charts don't predict timing, but yeah, maybe next month we see 420. Yeah, all right, back to you, Matt, and then we'll talk about some of the requests here.
Yeah, let's start off with Neo here, and I see a lot of multiple requests from the same people, so I'm just going to choose a couple, and if we have time, maybe I'll come back to the ones that were multiple requests, but with Neo, just to make it fair for everybody else. Just with Neo, we can see that it's breaking above the 50-week moving average, and that's kind of a big deal, but it's done it many times before, and it's never maintained it. And the deciding factor has really been the cloud and the blue line here, the 100 SMA. So if you're going to see a more bullish development, it's basically going to have to break inside the cloud, break above the cloud, above the 100, and more importantly, probably this fib right here, which is the 618 at the 551. So yes, it does have an opportunity to continue the run up to all this resistance up here into the $5 zone, 550s, 530s, 540s. But the trend has been go up to the cloud, go up to the 100, get rejected, go up to the cloud, go up to the 100, get rejected. Did it before numerous times. So this is not really a trend reversal, in my opinion. This is just going back to a major resistance zone that has done previous times with a big like liquidity grabs up top, getting all those shorts to cover, and then just send it lower. So that's the goal. If you want this stock to get a lot more bullish, 551 is going to be the target. But in the meantime, since it's above 440s, I think it can just keep gravitating to that zone. But will it break above is going to be the question. So we'll find out. So it's range bound right now, and watch 443 as a support. I'll do open as well too. And basically, this kind of broke out of the cloud this week. It gapped up, even gapped up above this fib right here. the 275. So I'm watching that. And if that 275 can actually hold, then yeah, this has potential to go higher. But what happened with open? Well, it just wicked right above that 200-week moving average. And that was the first touch ever, right? Since the creation of the 200 week, it's never touched it before. So it's kind of an obvious rejection point right there. So will it break above this week? We'll see, right? But right now, that's a big long wick that indicates there's a lot of sellers up there. So we'll see if it can actually break free. So I'm going to be cautious in the 420s, 430s, 440s, 450s, whatever, all the way up to the 541, right? I'll be cautious in that zone until there's really going to be proof it wants to break above, because right now it is a big long wick. And yes, pre-market it is above that 356. We'll see if it can stay above. But what I'm watching the most is just this 275, right? If it can stay above 275, that's kind of a big trend reversal, and this could actually develop into something more bullish. So that's what I'm watching for open tracker.
All right. I wanted to show my open chart as well. Just looking at it in the short term. Let's see. This is just these are 1 hour candlesticks, and it ran up to 492. And what's interesting is I decided to call that the 11.4%. I think I did what I did. And so, like, what if this is just 11.4%? What will it do after that? It's gonna have to retest. Well, like right here, it had a wick that almost touched 272 for the 50%. That could be enough, but I almost want to see it do it one more time. Like sometimes the fast move has to get retested. So it's sort of having trouble here at the 786 at this $3.98. So I think it's going to have to do a slower progression to retest 272. And then from there, if that holds, I think it will, if the moving average 75 catches up to it at the same time on my 1 hour chart. And then, yeah, then we can retest 1140. And once it gets over $4.92, then that's the mini boss, right? And it can go on to the 236 and the 382. And then, it'll probably do like a 382, 236, then 618 after that. So that could be pretty cool. Yeah, just watch open. Let's see if it's bullish above 490, like immediately bullish if it gets over 492. But if it can't get over 398, then I think it's gonna backtest 272. Sorry, that was a lot, but it's exciting. I'm gonna share my SBET chart here with you now. SBET, I'm looking for it to come up here to this 141. It's just a circuitous path. Gosh darn. Let's just see. So I'm just kind of going to try to split. Again, my charts don't really predict. Oh, maybe if I put this on a 16-hour chart instead of 1 hour chart. Yeah. I'm very bullish on SBET. I think it could be pretty remarkable. So yeah, it just kind of has to cut through all this, and then it can do this. Oh, look, here's the cloud there. So yeah, look for price. I think it should be bottoming out. I think it should have bottomed out actually right here. Right when it was 24.20. I mean, it could. I said it could back this all the way back down to 22.32, but it doesn't have to. And it looks like it got close enough yesterday. I think they tried to shake us up yesterday. They might start low in the morning, but then work its way up through the day today. Yeah, so 145% higher to this 141 up at $64.80 from where is it at 26.87. I think a lot of these treasuries are going to be pretty crazy, pretty hot. I'll let Matt. Let me do red wire, and then I'll give it back to Matt here. 16-hour red wire chart. I think I have this more like on a weekly. Yeah, so I was like caution 22.26, and look what it did. It wicked right up to 22.26 and went back down again to reset around the 38.2%, around 16.29. Came back off of that. It got a little shy again, but it's still holding. Now you can see on the weekly chart, it got up high, but the conversion line's holding it. It hasn't gone lower than that in the wick or anything. Even on right here. So yeah, I'm looking for 25.96 next, still for red wire. Where price is right now, that is. Gotta change it to this. Price bottom. 49% higher. Then, actually, you know what I'm doing? I just realized something. Remember the flavor of 2025 is the 618. When I was expecting the 764, it did the 618 and then back to the 382. And look what happened here. That is the 382 right there. I think it did. I think this is done. I think it's in wave 3 now. I'm just going to call it red wires in wave 3. And so the next target is going to be the 1382 up here at 4162. So you can just get in and hang on. I don't need that one. I've got this one right here. Just get in and hang on. You don't need to trade anymore. 136% higher to get to 4162. So there you go. Red wire, just buy it and hold it until you get to 4162. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, let's do Oscar Health. And a lot of people are panicking again, and there's some volatility in the pre-market. But if you guys saw my weekly update video on Friday, I included Oscar in it as well, and really nothing has changed. Because when you look at the high time frame on the monthly chart, this is just one big giant cup and handle here. And it's also in a nice big zone. It's a big supply and demand zone, really, right? We can just draw a little box from the beginning of time and just, you can see that this is, even back in August of 2021, it's a demand zone, right? Every time it goes back in this zone, it's a demand zone. So am I bullish at support? Yes, I am. Right, it doesn't mean that it can't keep going lower because this is still in that same zone. The 618 is at 1225, right? But this is a very, very good development because I'm cautious at resistance because this is the resistance zone up here, right? Up here, that's the supply zone up here. This is where I'm cautious. The demand zone is where you get more bullish. So this is something that has not changed since I made that video on Friday. It's still in the same vicinity. There's also still some 9 days left into the month where it could actually still even close back above that baseline right up there at 1426 while getting more liquidity lower first before it wants to continue higher. So this is really no change from last month or the month before. And I mentioned the past 9 months in a row basically have been in the same demand zone the whole time. So this is nothing to be afraid of. In my opinion, this is something that I think people love to panic at support, and I just don't understand it. And maybe it might be time for me to actually finally add to my position. I didn't want to add anything up here or down there because it was not close enough to my average. My average is basically I started buying in the 12s down here. So now that it's back into the 12s, I think I'll probably start to buy again. So with that, Tracker, back to you.
Oh gosh, let's see. Use this one right here. XR. Oh, I did XRP. MP. Can we please do MP? I think we talked about this a couple, maybe like last week. Materials. Oh, it's going to be a different. No, it's this one. Wait, why do I have it like this? Yeah, I think I was just looking at the. So the last high was $60.19, and then a retrace made to the lower low. That was $10.02 after that. It's already retested the 100%, but it couldn't make the 168. So I think it wants to come back. Well, let's just do by the red fibs, right? So I'm just basically calling this a rejection of the 1168. Look for a retest of 49.45. Is my educated guess here. And why did it have the 618 highlighted here? I don't remember why. But yeah, look for 49.45. And then that should hold and then send it back up. And then it'll get to the 141 and beyond. So get the one from 49.45. Yeah, look like that. Probably that. And then it's got to do like the ABC from there. A, B, C. And then from there, it can go on up to 1618. So from the 618 to the 1618. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like 124% from there. 64% from here to the 141 at $80.96 after testing back to 49.45. I got to scroll up here. Let me do BMNR because everyone's asking about that, including my own subscribers. So BMNR. This one, they took me for a little bit of a loop. I didn't predict it was going to go from get rejected by this 1618 and sent all the way back to this 1111, but that's what happened. So I basically bought too early, then DCA'd on a 4 chart. I'm just kind of watching it. I'm expecting to see it come back up through these fibs again. You are, let's send you to the left side. It's in the way. Nope, that was the one I wanted actually. Never mind. Okay, so here's my cost basis up here. Last time I checked. BMNR just kind of wants to go through the red line. So 52.27. Well, let's see. It's got to get through the 2929 first. Probably. Let's say. Let's just do it roughly. It fails the 50% the first time, but then the 382 holds it, so it can go higher. Fails the 786 the next time, and then the 618 holds it, and then it goes to the 1618. So, let's see. From where prices right now, I can conceivably see it making a more or less run up to 45% higher to 59.20. Then probably the 889, $54. But that's just in the short time scale. On the larger time scale, I am expecting to see like stuff like $136.30, which is where prices right now, 203% higher from where it is. So that would be like a 618, 382 situation. Anyway, I like BMNR. We're just going to have to give it some patience, a little time. How about back to you, Matt, and then I'll get the next one ready.
Yeah, I got SE. We'll do C limited here, and here's my GAN on this, and we can see it's actually trying to break above the arc here. So this is a great development right there, the green arc, and it does look like it's breaking above and stabilizing above this 618 fib too, and that's at 149.91. So I think that's the target, right? Stay around current price down to 149. And this can actually continue to build a base and go up to the 180s, the 200s, and above. So this is a nice trend reversal, really. So something that was a big resistance for a long time of the 150 zone is now looking like it is becoming a support for that potential to go higher. And I got Mara too on deck. And Mara, it's really trying to stay above this 1958, but so far it's not succeeding, this 618 fib. But we do have the conversion line right down below in the 1740s. So if it does need to go back down a little bit lower, it's possible. But I'm going to be watching this fib level. If we zoom in, we can see that it did close the week last week at 1951. So it did close a little bit below that 1955. So it is more of a resistance than a support. So if this week can actually close above it, then perhaps it could actually start to be a trend reversal and build a new base at a higher level and then get inside the cloud and then maybe go towards the 45-degree angle where it also got rejected last week right there as well. So it's in a big resistance zone really with that 618 fib and the 45-degree angle. So I think it might take some time to break free, but in the meantime, any kind of weakness could really be an opportunity for Mara here because it is looking like it's going to break out, right? It's looking like it's going to break out. Because it's just continuous from the bottom here, higher high, higher low, higher high. It's just working on finding a higher low now. And yeah, that could be back into the 17s, but this is still a very, very nice development before it wants to break into the cloud. So Tracker, back to you.
All right, thanks, Matt. I've got CINGF here, Coincilium Group. I apologize if it's not in, this is in US dollars. Let's see. So yeah, after this huge run up and you just call like, when it was 0.089 cents, like 9/10 of a cent, to $1.24, it's come all the way back down to the 11.4 down here, 14.92, or almost back to it. It's sort of approaching it asymptotically, which I can definitely see. You can kind of see on my moving average 75, it's kind of oscillating on the top side. Now it's below it, so it's going to have to fight through resistance to get back. But and it did make a slightly lower low here. A slightly lower, higher low. I'm just going to move this to here and then pull this out to there. And then the numbers are different now. It's instead of 6142 at minimum, I would say 6413 at minimum. I'm just looking right here at the 382 because it'll do at least 382, 236, right? So, and from where price is right now, that is right about, it's close enough for hand grenade, 196% higher from where price is now. And then back to 47 cents. And then after that goes to the 1, 2, 3, 6, 6, 7, 6, 4, and then the whoops. Now I'll update all these numbers because now they're different since we just got a slightly lower higher low. All right, so yeah, I like this one too. EUSE. How's EUSE doing? Oh, pretty good. Yeah, this one is go to my 16-hour chart. It is in its wave 3. Like basically, you could have just bought it. You could buy it anytime now. You could have bought it down here or buy it now, and it's just going to keep going. It's marching its way to $11.40. It's possible it could go to $12.60 because that would make a perfect A wave back to the 382, 236, 6.8, like back to its all-time high of 31.95. But yeah, I'm just looking for $11.40 next. From where prices now, that's about 91% higher. And of course, inside of this, there will be an ABC pattern, but it's best to try not to try to predict it because they make this part really hard to do. Like I couldn't tell you what the rest was going to do until I saw that the wave 2 come down, and I don't know when it's going to be. It could be up here. Anyway, USE. Back to you, Matt, and then I'll get the next thing.
Actually, I wanted to show my iron chart, and I wanted to show really on a monthly scale here. Let me switch my screen. That it touched the 886 yesterday, right? It wicked through it, but you can see these monthly candles. And the reason why I want to show you this monthly development, because this 786 was a huge month over month resistance, and it broke out last month, and this month there's continuation and follow through. So because of that, it doesn't really matter if it does come back down to the 17s or 16s or whatever, or even 15s, because this is a change, right? This is something that was a big, huge resistance. Now it looking like a support. So the lower it goes, the better the risk reward. But right now, 1935, that's the goal to close the week and maybe the month above. But it is resistance right now, so we'll see if it can. And that's kind of like the final boss until it goes up to all-time highs. So it might get rejected there for some time. But if it wants to be truly explosive, perhaps it's going to break above. So 1935, that's the goal to close above. But this whole zone is a new range. So the lower it goes, the better the risk reward. And I think it's one of the most bullish charts in the crypto miners. So basically any kind of retrace is an opportunity. No matter if it goes down to the 14s, it's a beautiful, beautiful chart now. And
dip.
Buy the dip, yes. If it keeps on dipping, keep on buying, huh? Yeah, don't run out of cash. Don't do it. Let's do ONDS. I see that as a request here. So ONDS, we can see on a week-to-week basis here that price actually is trying to break back above this 50% fib here at 224. And it did actually open a weekly candle above it. It was a big resistance before. So that's what I'm watching the most. I think nothing else really matters on this chart except for staying above 224. If we're going to get more bullish, it's going to go above 224 or stay above 224. But when we add on the moving averages here, and we can see that the 200-week moving average just was hit yesterday. So this is why it got rejected where it did. It just got all that liquidity up here and then sold off massively. So cautious at resistance, more bullish at support, and let's see if this support can actually continue to hold. If it does not hold, then there is still the cloud below to catch it. That is still in the low twos, so that is still the opportunity. And either way, it broke above the cloud again, so this is a bullish scenario, and it just needs more time, I think, to consolidate until it's really ready to break this 200-week moving average. So I can see this chart just being range-bound for some time until it's ready to continue higher. So tracker.
All right, I've got UPXI here. This is a lovely chart. I bought a bunch of it down here around $6.08. I'm just hanging on to it. Yeah, I think it like the giant chart goes all the way up to $187.40. Now that's it did other stuff before it became a treasury company for XRP. But here's the $23.05 is the 11.4 mini boss. It just has to get over that to start doing some really good stuff. So watch for it to approach $23.05. Then it's going to have to test back. It's not going to break it through the first time. I can't decide if it's going to you hold support of the 702 or the 618. Somewhere around between 1675 and 1497 is where this wave 2 will be. And then after that, it will break out of the 11.4, and you'll see it go through 236 be resistance, but eventually it'll go to this 298 before getting rejected back again to probably the 50% of this move. Now that I think of it, from here to here. Oh, see, maybe it won't be that deep. Right here, 3740 might be where it ends up. The 1618. That makes sense. 3612 even. So it kind of goes. Ooh, see, now I want to do this again. 1497. So the 618 to the 2618, back to the 1618, and then on to the 4618 after that. So, I mean, this is a crazy amount of gains. This is 1,000% from where price is right now to getting up just to the halfway point between the bottom and halfway back to its all-time high. So that's what's going to do, I think, eventually with this cycle. You'll get rejected there, and then have to come all the way back to like maybe the 298 or something. So that's going to feel crazy, $94 to almost $57 or so. That's UPXI. And then I was going to do, so DJT, Donald J. Trump, I really thought more would happen after the announcement, but I guess because Bitcoin, it's like, oh, hey, guess by the way, we bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin. And then the day they make the announcement, what does Bitcoin do? It makes like a triangle and kind of goes sideways. So the stock has sort of been doing the same thing. 16-hour chart. The announcement happened like right around here. It was just yesterday. I think Rumblebell let us know right here in the show. So yeah, it hasn't done much yet, but it is below this 11.4. Both, the extension isn't much different from the retracement. So you can almost just really go by the retracement. Once it gets over 1946, then it'll head for the 236. Probably get rejected by the 29732 the first time. 3186 will get rejected. About halfway back, maybe this 236. And then, eventually it wants to go to 50%, 45.57. So, I mean, just looking at it that way, where price is right now, 64% higher to fight it out at the 29732. And then to the halfway point, the 50% mark, that is about 130% higher from where price is now. So yeah, DJT looks pretty good overall. It's definitely been building a base to go higher from here. It doesn't look bearish. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, let's finish it off here. For me, I'll do a couple more charts and then I'll hand it off to you before we run away forever. Just joking.
Till tonight.
Till tonight, yeah. Robinhood. So this one broke out, right? We can see that it broke out above the arc, and now it's kind of back testing that arc a little bit. So is it going to come back down to the lower levels here in the 90s, 94, 95? That is a possibility, yeah. But right now it is battling this. So let's see if this 105 zone can actually stay above. And it is kind of battling it pre-market. So we'll see if it can, right? If it can break out and just flip this top arc to support, maybe a deep back test is not going to happen. Perhaps something just shallow. And if that is the case, then we could actually continue to the 160s sooner than later. But right now, it's still in the middle of this little arc and just trying to see if it actually can flip it to support. So we'll see. I'm watching it a lot. It's around 105.50, that zone. If it can hold, great. If not, there's a plenty of support below, and you can just see how massive of a melt up it was. So even a small little retrace back down to the low 90s, mid 90s is not a big deal and actually would be an opportunity in my opinion, but it might not happen. So that's why I'm watching the momentum of this arc to see if it can actually stabilize above for a possible continuation with that. And let's see what I'll choose one that I haven't done in a while here.
It's funny sometimes with those Gann arcs. If it hits the arc and sort of gets stuck on it, it'll just like do a little squiggle and stay right on the line for a while to build its base before moving higher.
Yeah,
and
it could stay on this arc for weeks at a time too. Maybe like 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or so. Yeah,
doesn't always test back to the previous arc.
No, not always. Sometimes, yes, not always. Let's do one more, and I will do. Oh yeah, Grab. I think Grab was going up
Yeah, Grab looked good yesterday.
Yeah, grab. And the reason why I kind of pointed this out to my Patreon people, because I saw what it did. And right here, this weekly candle made a higher high, right? It made a higher high from this wick, from that wick. So technically, that is like a break of structure for continuation. So it was a perfect setup for continuation. And now we are seeing that pre market. And I think it's off to maybe finally go to the 630. But it is right at in a resistance zone right now. We can see this wick right here is exactly what price is at pre market. It's 553. Price is 553. So that's kind of the next higher high to overcome in order to get to the 630. So it's almost there, but this chart has been bullish. Every time it did a back test of any kind of level, it's been an opportunity. And I took advantage of this latest back test down here for more accumulation. And there we go. Now price is going up higher and higher and higher, and 630 would be the next resistance target. So tracker, take us out.
Thanks. That's a great reminder of TA 101. When in doubt, look to the left. Look and see what the price history had just done previously,
Yep.
or sometimes it's not what it had just done. Sometimes it's what it did like a year ago or years ago. I've got my last one here today will be BT Bit Digital. I think we talked about it last week recently, but here it is. It's just a nice chart to look at. Basically, just trying to get back to the 50% level from its previous high of $33. And this is what it'll kind of look like. It's going to go. I've got the 618382 right here, which gets it back over the 11.4 mini boss and then tests back to it as support before going on to the 236. Comes back and tests. I guess it's about halfway between the two, the move, and then onto the 50% up here at 1676. So you just take your screen. I'll just put it right closer to the prices. Take a screenshot right here. These fib extension prices can often be surprisingly accurate, despite what I've got on the retracement side. So there you go. $5.25 next, then to 389, then 881. You don't actually usually have a different one for this. I've got a template where it just changes the colors to because this one goes to the 618. That's why I didn't do it. Okay, never mind. Anyway, yeah. All right, that's it. We're going to be back tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we usually start up, and yeah, it should be a fun time. We'll try to talk about some new and different things, plus some of your old favorites. Sorry if we didn't get to all your requests today. We'll just keep asking. Do your requests early in the YouTube chat before we get started, and that's where we start. We just start from the bottom there and work our way up, and try to ask for like more than one thing because it's just more fair if we can get through everyone else's requests. And please don't spam the chat. Okay. All right. I'll see you later, Matt.
All right. See you tonight. Bye, guys.
Good luck out there, everybody. Now that we're testing supports instead of resistances pre-market, maybe we could actually have a green morning. Not unlike yesterday when we said, oh, things are like looking really green in the pre-market. Look out. And that's what happened. Like it ran up and quickly sold off. So maybe today it'll build up. All right. Talk to you later.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.